What up, people? So, let me walk up over here. The hardest thing I ever work on, it is a hands down motorhome, RV. So this manifold right here, it's all cracked. And lots of bolts got broken. This video is going to be regarding the hardest thing I ever work on. And this is the hardest thing I actually worked on. This is 2001. I did record a video regarding it once. So, see, new manifold, new coolant, new radiator. My dad is going to go to camping. And I don't know if I'm going to take this thing myself to go to Minnesota for the motocross. I usually go there every year. I did not go last year for certain circumstances. But like literally hands down, I fixed a lot of things in my life. This dang thing is the hardest thing to actually work on it. It is absolutely insane how stuffed that is, and it's hard to get to it. You guys can see this thing from outside on a, and it looks like, okay, you got an engine, it's right there, but there is access to it, which I will go inside. I'm not even gonna take my shoes off because that thing's so filthy inside. Mice got into it, and I walk with my dirty shoes, so I'm gonna have to wash all this off. I'm gonna have to get a wet vacuum in. So I had this thing running a little bit. It's hot as hell. There's actually access to the engine from the top. And so I'm going to post this video regarding if it's retarded or not, but just to memorize it for myself. Right now, you see all this wet. I soaked it with a degreaser. When I get it washed off in the injector lines, I will put this cover back on. Then I will power wash it. You guys can see it's a new manifold, new bolts, new spacers, everything. So there was a radiator, which is radiators on the side right there. Is a brand new radiator. If I knew the manifold was cracked, it would be a hell of a lot easier to do it when the radiator was out of it. But I didn't notice the crackling of the exhaust knock till I put the radiator back on. So we ended up putting a new manifold. And it's not a big of a job just to, you know, bolt it back on, get the turbo off, oil lines, whatever. The problem was with this, the bolts were broken in the head from exhaust manifold, so it was 5 of them all together. And that one, the farthest one, I actually ended up with going oversized bolt, and that one literally took me a couple days to get it out, and I did not get it out. I ended up just re-drilling, oversize it, and re-tapped it. Exhaust brake back on, so everything pretty much back on now, just to power wash it. And right there, as you can see, the exhaust is broken, so I have to either buy a new clamp, figure out to do something with it, or make a straight pipe to eliminate the exhaust muffler completely. The plan is I have to fix the shock right here, which is broken, and the mice got into it. There's a bunch of mice crap all over it. This is one of the studs, so I'm gonna have to clean all this out. I just literally pulled it outside, and I want to get it cleaned up, fill it with the water, run everything through it, and I will going to get my wet vacuum, get the slider out, and clean this carpet out. Or I don't know, might just replace it. But this is the most insane thing I work on. I literally spend more time. Buddy might come over, we had a few beers, and he's like, how tough is to work on them? I'm like, dude, I literally prefer to put the clutch in the transmission in the semi than do an exhaust manifold on this thing. It is absolutely insane. Now it actually explains to me why you go to the dealer and they're gonna say, hey, our labor's like, let's say for the example, $175 an hour, and if it's a motorhome, it's $220. And I always thought thinking it was ridiculous. It takes twice as long of a time to do something on it, twice as long of a patience to work on it. But I totally agree with the dealers to work on this thing is absolutely the craziest. My stomach hurts, my arms hurt. It is filthy because nobody never washes them in the back. And this one, for some reason, pukes out oil if you go over 70 miles an hour. And the worst thing about it, the motorhome is for them to sit because they don't get used enough. So the plan is now, well, my personal plan is to, doesn't matter if it's a winter time, as long as it's a dry day, get it out of the storage shed and drive this thing for 20 miles once a month, couple times a month or something like that, because it is really, really painful for these things to sit. Another thing I gotta do, so I switched from green coolant to red coolant, and then I have to change. This is the water pump in the Cummins. This is ISC Cummins. I need to change this water pump. So, but that's gonna be another topic. Thanks for watching all. I'm posting this video. Leave a comment below.